So there are so many things I want to chat to you about. I actually want to start, given the poster boy of Scottish rugby, with a really interesting article that was written this week by Alan Dimmock about whether or not rugby needs a sort of global superstar right now. And there's some fascinating sort of depth to the article, all about sort of Messi, LeBron, Serena, Tiger Woods, and just how they transcend the sport. To come to you first of all, Hoggy, just on your role in Scottish rugby, is the role of the poster boy something you're comfortable with, something you've gone after, something you've been given? You know, how does it sit with you to be, you know, the icon at the moment?
I think if you asked me when I was 19, 20, all I wanted to do was to be in the spotlight and try and be in a poster boy. Whereas you ask me nowadays, I'd rather just sit back and concentrate on the rugby. I think, you know, old enough and ugly enough now to realise that if things are going well on the field, then, you know, you tend to be used off it a lot more. So for me, look, I just want to work hard, make sure I'm doing my job, and then the added extras come with it. But definitely nowadays, I'd rather just kind of hide away. But with this lid, I might come back into it. You never know.
It's a wonderful media handbook answer to that. It's all about the team. It's not about me. I'm going to push you a bit more on it, though. I mean, when you were a young kid coming through, how intoxicating was it to be front and centre? Yeah,
I think when you're that age, you're just full of confidence and you think that, you know, you can take on the world. I think, you know, I was kind of front and centre of the kind of, you know, advertising for Scottish rugby or, you know, that kind of bits and pieces. But yeah, I think, you know, back then I was chuffed to be a part of it. I wanted to be it. I wanted to, you know, if I wasn't involved in a photo shoot for the kit launch, I was disappointed. Whereas now you just see it as part of the job. You're used as, you know, at the end of the day, it's a business. You know, at the club and the country, it's still a business that you've got to be used in a certain way to be able to help sell jerseys, to be able to help, you know, pack out stadiums. So, you know, as long as, you know, the Chiefs, for instance, and for Scotland, as long as, you know, we're packing out stadiums, we're playing well, you know, the added extras that come with it, you just got to kind of take it on the chin and get on with it, I guess, because at the end of the day, it is a business as well as, you know, playing rugby.
There is an interesting conversation around that, because we had a chat at Rory's, because at Rory's wedding you were sort of leaving Glasgow and you were looking at what clubs you were going to, and you said to me that you hated rugby at the time. You felt there was so much expectation on your shoulders that you actually hated going out there.
I did, and I was, you know, if I was 31, 32 at the time, I'd have quite happily just walked away from the game because I didn't enjoy it at all. I was at the stage that, you know, I felt a couple of years prior to that I was playing some of the best rugby I'd ever played, got picked to go on the Lions tour in 2017. And then that injury kind of rocked me. It really did. Like, I fractured my eye socket, I had my shoulder reconstructed when I came back. And then I decided that, you know, I had to lose a lot of weight. I had to try and, you know, add a different aspect to my game. I was just trying to be too lean, trying to be too light, picking up loads of injuries. I was spending more time on the physio bed than I was the training field. You know, I think I played 10 games for Scotland and about 6 for Glasgow for 2 years consecutively. So I was thinking to myself, you know, all the kind of stuff that was coming on the back of it, is Stuart Hogg going to get back to his best? And I was like, I'm going to, you know, prove the doubters wrong, and was probably making twice as many mistakes because I was trying too hard. And I just got to the stage I was getting a lot of stick off the pitch and wasn't enjoying it. I didn't feel comfy in my surroundings at Glasgow. As I say, if I was 31, 32, I'd have quite happily just walked away.
I really want to pick up on that. Can I just ask, Tins or Stuart, which one of you's got the kid that's not enjoying bath time very much?
Mine's silent.
Just read them. Can you hear them?
And I wonder why you didn't retire at 27, and wonder why you very quickly got back to the clubhouse. On you, I can already see that you are using up brownie points by doing this, so we're very grateful to you.
No wonder you built that. You became one of the lockdown gymmers. I'm just going for a session. Where? Doesn't matter.
See you on Thursday.
Yeah, 4 hours later.
But that's really interesting to pick up on that someone as high profile and as, you know, as talented and as, you know, front and centre as you are, genuinely thought, I don't actually love what I'm doing right now. How did you rediscover the love?
Jill and I talked for a long time about what we were going to do in terms of like the next stage. Because I said if I was to stay at Glasgow again, it would be one last contract and I'm done. I got to the stage I just had enough, and I felt the time was right to move on and try again, because I'm not scared to say I'm obsessed with playing rugby. I'm obsessed with everything that comes with rugby. But I got to the stage I just didn't want to do it. I had a few hard conversations with my parents, and albeit after a couple of beers at Rory's wedding, I had a really, really good conversation with Tins about it. And I said that, you know, I had a chance to either go to Exeter or Montpellier at the time, and he turned around to me straight away and said, there's only one club for you to go to. Now, I had a big inkling that I was going to be going to Exeter. And I had a few conversations with numerous different people, and that was the kind of time I thought, Tins knows exactly what he's talking about. He's a man that's got a fair amount of experience. So I was like, I listened to him, and I said to Jill, I said, I think you could be right, And thankfully, I decided to listen to him, and that's a massive part of why I'm here. And I probably never told Tins that.
Nothing like a barroom chat at Rory Lawson's wedding to sort out your career. I dread to think where you could have ended up if you'd been listening to him.
It was a weird chat because it was not something that I expected. I watch Hoggy in awe when he plays, just how he backs himself. He sees things that other people don't see. He'll chip and chase when you'd want your fullback to play safe, but it always comes up for him. And then to hear him he wasn't really enjoying the game. He felt all this pressure. And I was like, well, you need an environment where you're going to thrive and not. And in France, you're just going to get flogged was the main sell, whereas you hear so many good things. And having been down, when I went down and played for, I always use this example, played for Exeter when in Gareth Steenson's testimonial, I was like, it's just a great club, great atmosphere. They will want you to do what you want to do. They want to play, and they play with smiles on faces. And if you're feeling like this now, you need a club like that.
I find it fascinating that someone who's at the top of their game, sort of, as we said already, has gone through a period where you haven't enjoyed it at all.